Hexia, a story of blood, revenge, honor, and death. Hexia stumbles back away from the flaming banks of the Phlegethon River and runs her hand down her face, exasperated.
Don't touch it. One drink is not worth the pain,
she mutters to herself. Lightning crashes overhead, the noise colliding with the echoes of distant screams of souls unknown.
We need to keep walking, ma'am. It's not much further to the gates. My sisters will be waiting for us.
A lone Carries hisses.
Of course.
As they approach the gates, the screeching of the Carries can be heard over the rolling thunderclaps. The reunion is anything but beautiful, with dozens of violent spirits rushing their commander, awaiting orders.
Soon we will have our reign. I swear it on the river Styx. Let Athena be honored.
Hexia bellows. The horde surges the gateway into the black night of the Greek countryside.
Why are we here, Commander? What are we waiting for?
A Carries inquired.
Be patient. Your orders will follow soon enough,
Hexia hissed.
Send your 3 strongest to Athens immediately and seek out King Alexander's most prized soldiers. Leave them beaten on the steps of his palace at dawn. We must show my threats have merit. Athens belongs to Athena and no other. His heathenish rule must be ended, and power restored to the rightful queen.
The Carries bowed.
Right away, Commander.
At once, a group of Carries disappeared into the night, eagerly searching for their targets and anxious to please their supreme commander. Back at base camp.
Supreme Commander, I mean no disrespect, but I must ask, why Alexander? What has he done to deserve your wrath? And not to undermine your power, but ma'am, he has armies. We have 12 warriors. The odds aren't exactly in our favor.
A curious Carries inquired.
I'm glad you asked. From the beginning of King Alexander's rule, he has done nothing but disrespect the wishes and power of the goddess Athena, and tricked her into bestowing on him a talent with battle strategies.
Hexia mocks. Her disdain for the man is evident.
When I first made my complaints heard, he murdered me, banishing me to the depths of Tartarus until I could drag myself back out. Before my downfall, Hestus took pity on me though, and lifted me with a mechanical eye with which to see my enemy. I will be able to foresee their plans and crush them before they even get a chance to retaliate, thus returning power in Athens to the namesake.
Meanwhile, dawn breaks in Athens.
I thought I had defeated her once and for all.
King Alexander roars.
Get these bodies out of here and clean this mess. I must speak with the goddess immediately.
He commands before marching into the altar room.
O mighty goddess Athena, I beg counsel with you urgently. The monstrous sorceress has returned.
A bright flash fills the room, and in her glory stood Athena in her robes. Next to her stood a tall and muscular man in armor, holding a helmet underneath his arm. Athena frowned and spoke.
If she has returned this quickly, she's more powerful than we thought, Alexander. We will need assistance. That is where Ares comes in.
My lord Ares, it is truly an honor, sir.
Stammered Alexander as he bowed his head in respect. When Ares spoke, it was like the thundering feet of 1,000 soldiers, impressive and terrifying in one moment.
Raise your head, Alexander. We have no room for pleasantries. Gather your army. We march at dawn. Athena and I will need room in which to plan our strategies. Where will you have us?
Right this way, please. Only the best for you both.
Alexander proclaimed as he led the gods to his own war room.
There are servants outside if you need anything at all. I will prepare my army at once.
As the gods sat, they glanced at the door and back at each other.
This won't be easy for him,
Athena said softly.
No, but it will make him a better leader,
agreed Ares. The next day breaks as Hexia sits in the field, her back turned to her followers, and murmurs to the mechanical eye in her hand.
I see they've finally seen my true power. This army is bigger than the last.
She shakes her head.
I still can't believe Athena would let her people be manipulated by such a vile excuse of a leader. Anyone would have been a better choice.
Hexia rises to her feet.
Ladies, ready yourselves. The enemy approaches. This will be no easy task, but we have stolen their element of surprise.
From over the hill, a lone soldier appears, dressed for battle.
On behalf of the goddess Athena and King Alexander, we extend you an offer of an honorable defeat. Refuse and be slain where you stand.
He yells over the sound of the Carries' anticipation of bloodshed. Hexia's eyes flash in anger.
We will never submit to your petty king. Do your worst, but beware. My caress are hungry and no mercy will be shown.
So be it.
the lone soldier proclaims before returning to his ranks. For hours on end, the battlefield is a symphony of swords clashing, screams of rage and pain, and the thundering of hooves on the ground.
This is what you've done to me. Look what I have become.
Hexius screeches at Alexander. She clenches her fist, and Alexander crumbles to the ground, blood spilling from his mouth and onto the grass. Suddenly a roar emits from the center of the Athenian army, and Hexia's blood runs cold. From the crowd emerges the lone soldier.
Eris!
Hexia yells as he charges straight for her.
See what you've done? The mess you've created? You've destroyed the greatest leader Athens has ever had.
Ares rages. Hexia tries with all of her strength to force Ares to the ground, but in her distraction, Athena slams her to the dirt. Athena stands over Hexia, planting her foot on Hexia's chest.
As much as I appreciate your allegiance, your actions are a gross exaggeration of your own hatred of Alexander's previous victory over you. Using my name as an excuse to destroy him and his army is despicable. I would never approve.
Lady Athena, please, I beg you mercy. I was only thinking of your honor.
Hexia begged.
No, you were simply too blinded by your own emotions to see the truth of the matter. I have no mercy for you.
Athena deadpanned. She raised her sword above her head and drove it through Hexia's chest. She turned to the Caries and spoke with a resonating power.
If you join her again, I will have no choice but destroy you all, again and again, for eternity.
She spoke to the soldiers holding them.
Do with them as you please.
Before disappearing over the hill, Ares by her side.